Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode. I am JB, and of course, with me is the legendary Mark Marsh.
Hey everybody.
So, today it's time to play this or that Scooby-Doo edition. Now, neither myself nor Mark knows what these questions are. I'm not going to say who, although you can probably guess, but I do have someone to write this for me, and I've just screenshot them. I don't know what these are. So, full disclosure, we're just going to be reacting to this full time. So, how it's going to work out, I mean, people can probably figure this out, but say I'm going to say something like Scrappy or Flim Flam, and we're going to have to choose which one we prefer and why. So, yeah, I guess I can get us kicked off. So, the first is, where are you? Or what's new, Scooby-Doo?
Oh, damn it. I love them both. Where are you?
This is a tricky one for me because I almost feel
Oh,
like I feel the same way about what's new that a lot of the purists feel about where are you?
do you know what the weird thing is? Because I'm old now, I'm 29. What's new is my generation when I grew up watching it.
Mm,
Like, obviously, I saw Where Are You as a kid on the reruns before What's New, but I can say that as my generation, that was my first series. But What's New, but it's so hard to choose because I love them both.
I think I'm gonna
Oh,
have to differ
I
and
might have
go
to stick
with
to Where Are You?
what's new, just because that was my first one that I grew up on. I love the voice cast, the fact that it was like a almost a swan song for Casey Kasem as well. Just to me, that was my definitive Mystery Inc. We had Mindy Cohn, Grey Delisle, Frank Welker, Casey Kasem. Like all of it was great, and for all not all the episodes stand out to me even now. Just the music that they implemented into it all, that feeling of adventure. I just love it so much. So yeah, for me, that's what's new Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, because I chose Where Are You because
Mm,
that's what got me into
yeah.
Scooby-Doo. That's what made me love it. So I feel like I can't really say hand on heart what my experience would be if I never saw Where Are You and I just started from the What's New Scooby-Doo. Because it could be like if I just watched What's New Scooby-Doo and that what started me off there, I don't think I'd be that much of a Scooby-Doo fan as I am now. But I think Where Are You made me into the fan I am.
Yeah, like yeah, I
It's
can't argue. I don't think there's anyone in the world that could argue with what you've picked there. So I quite like that we've both differed on the first one already. Might be an indication of what is to come. So for the second one, the Be Cool Scooby-Doo animation or a pup named Scooby-Doo animation.
oh, that one's easy. Be cool.
See, I feel like a pup named Scooby Doo for me is better in terms of it looks more classically designed, but I
Oh, yeah, because
think
it was done hand drawn because that was before they went
yeah, I
all
think that was the
computer
last one.
style.
Well,
I think the
what
90s
was
was the
new?
last time when all cartoons, I think
Yeah,
early 2000s when they changed over because I think What's Your Scooby Doo was when they moved over to computerized animation rather than the hand drawn
yeah.
animation.
But then at the same time, I feel like the Be Cool Scooby Doo animation was perfect for that show. So it's almost like, what would you prefer? Like a decent suit that looks good on someone, or a suit that you're not too sure about that's perfectly tailor fit to fit someone, and it's kind of like that debate. I think I'm gonna say Be Cool just because of the wackiness and irreverence of it, and because it is almost like another character within that, because
Yeah,
it stands out so much. Whereas Putnam Scooby Doo is just good. It isn't really. It doesn't put a staple on things as such. So yeah,
yeah, I feel like because it's due them as kids in that, so it's a lot more catered towards kids, so it's not really that kind of groovy sense, I would say, compared to the other animations from
yeah,
Where Are You or new Scooby-Doo movies, that type of stuff.
yeah. And well,
Whereas
in all
Be Cool
fairness
Scooby-Doo,
to
the
it though,
animation was basically catered towards not only every audience, but also trying to fit the persona of making them as funny
yeah,
as possible. Because
that
Be Cool
particular
Scooby-Doo was
show.
more humor-wise based rather than story-wise based.
Yeah,
You had more
yeah.
laughs than enjoyed the actual mystery.
And the writing as well. The
because they
writing
focused
was
more on
pretty
the
good.
characters, and so each character had their own unique design, especially when they changed outfits and had different costumes. You don't see that a lot in Scooby-Doo. They wear the basic getup,
Mm.
but as Be Cool, they experimented a lot.
Yeah, they did loads, especially when they gave Fred like that big hand and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
oh, that was just really, really funny. So we have an interesting one up next. Daphne or Velma? Which,
I'm gonna have to say Velma because I love the nerd and the glasses. Like
see, I'm gonna have to say Daphne.
I like nerdy chicks. I'm
I mean,
gonna be like
let's
Fred from Mystery Incorporated. Donkey chicks
yeah,
like me,
doggy
turn me.
chicks. I mean, it's a bit of a weird question because it's kind of like, what are we thinking in terms? Is it like character? If it is character, I feel like Velma's got way lower lows than Daphne does, but I think you could
If we're
argue
going
that
on
Velma has
character, which
higher
series
highs
are
as
we basing
well.
the characters on?
Well, I think the whole character, every single
Because
character
every
in the
single
Scooby-Doo
series,
multiverse.
the characters have their own different personalities.
Because I
So
would
they're different in
argue
different series. Whereas
Velma,
Daphne and Be Cool is better than she's been in Mystery Incorporated. But
well, it's just
Velma
different
was
because
great in Mystery Incorporated, but wasn't that great in Be Cool Scooby Doo.
well, if you think about Velma, she's had the little like tangent in Return to Zombie Island and Curse of the 13th Ghost,
Yeah, she's she's gone downhill.
the Velma show. I personally don't think much of Kate McCucci's performance,
Velma's
but
become a Karen on the Scooby Doo show.
I'm sure there was like a controversy where like in multiverses people were calling her a Karen because like she did one like move, one like attack, and she threatened to like
She
call the
attacked
police on
everything
someone.
that we loved, like a
So
Karen
it's
would.
like so I feel like Velma's got maybe higher highs, especially with like Mindy Cohn, Linda Cardellini, and lower lows with like Velma and dispelling everything that's supernatural. But at the same time, I mean, what's the worst of Daphne? Like, what's the worst we've seen? Like Sarah Jeffrey dressing appallingly in one scene. Like it, I don't know. Like, what is the worst
I don't think there's ever
instance
been like
of
a
Daphne? I don't
bad
think so.
Daphne. They've all pretty much kept her safe.
I mean, even Constance Wu in the Velma series isn't great, but next to Velma herself,
Yeah.
it's not too bad. Like, I'm just trying to think. I guess her little thing at the end of Kiss Rock and Roll Mystery wasn't great, but that was more. I don't know. It's just one scene, wasn't it? Like,
I'm gonna say I liked Velma before they ruined her,
hmm.
but Daphne I enjoyed her up until the point with the Velma series.
I think Daphne, I think here's the thing.
Yeah.
People always like to choose, not you obviously, but in terms of the internet, people like to choose Velma and say, oh, like she's really underrated. And I think we're at a stage now where Velma is no longer underrated. I think she was underrated for a while, but because so many people saw her as underrated, started to rate her, I think now she's a bit overrated.
Do you know the weird thing is? I feel like what happened to Scrappy is gonna happen to Velma
Oh, you know what? If some James Gunn
because
of the future makes
because they
Velma
they
the
ruined
villain,
Scrappy to the
like.
point where they milked Scrappy to the point where they hate that the audience didn't like him, and now they're milking Velma every single movie and series to the point where we're now hating Velma. I feel like Velma's gonna go. She's gonna be the one left. It's gonna go back to the three amigos, Shaggy, Daphne, and bring back Scrappy Doo.
The three amigos. Well, I wouldn't dislike the idea of like little tangent series. It's just
Because
I
at
do
this
like
point
it when
now,
the
I'm like,
gang
get
is
rid
all
of the
together.
current Velma and bring back Scrappy. That's how much I would prefer Scrappy at this point.
I mean, they probably would
But
have
it's
given a better chance just because there was less of an established fan base, possibly. But even then, I mean, I feel like there's more toxic Velma fans than Daphne fans because there's a lot of times where people would just be trying to be there, appreciating their Daphne thing, and there'll be so many comments like, "Oh, Velma's better, Velma's better," but you never get that under like Velma appreciation posts. It's just, "Hey, Velma's awesome." So there are different ways to look at this. Personally, I'm always going to go with Daphne, like if it's not obvious. But
I'm just gonna
again,
go with Velma.
I
It's
like
just
that. Like the fact that we're split on so many of these. I love it. I love it. Ooh, what is this one? This one's obvious, clearly. Okay. Legend of the Vampire or Music of the Vampire?
Oh, Music of the Vampire.
Music.
Yeah, Music of the
Which
Vampire.
one is music? I'm getting my wires
Um,
crossed.
so Legend of the Vampire has no, that's yeah, Legend of the Vampire has the Hex Girls in.
Yeah, with the Yahweh Yahoo and Music of the
Yeah,
Vampire is
but
like,
Music of the Vampire
I don't
is
want no
where
more ghouls or nothing
no,
scary.
that's a different one. Musical is it? Yeah, musical. No, that's stage fright I'm thinking of. No, Music of the Vampire is a
Oh,
different one. But that song you were saying, yeah,
yeah, yeah,
there's so many
yeah.
musicals.
Do-do-do-do-do-do, oh,
I'd
yeah.
say Music of the Vampire because I like that intro and outro.
I love the intro so much.
Whereas
And
when I watch Legend of the Vampire, I only like I like the Hex Girls when they come in, and that's it.
and I like the Yahweh Yahoo. It's just I feel like I'm gonna go Legend, but I do see more problems with it, like you say, from like the voice cast maybe wearing a bit thin, the animation being flat. But I love the musical sequences, love the Hex Girls, love the Yahweh Yahoo and the setting. It's close actually. It's closer than I'm kind of embarrassed to admit. But yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So see Haunted High Rise or Holiday Haunt.
I'm gonna hate me when I say this, but I want Haunted High Rise
Hmm.
because I really want the Hex Girls to be back. Like I can get over the missing the Christmas special any day as long as I know there's Hex Girls. If it was a Hex Girl movie, Haunted High Rise. But since I know there's a Hex Girls movie, I really want to see that.
The Haunted High Rise, it's such a difficulty with these two. Like Mystery Pups, I kind of feels like the unfortunate middle child, which speaking as a middle child, I feel like I can kind of say it's almost kind of been like forgotten, and I do feel sorry for it from that regard. But there's such a contrast between my opinion of Haunted High Rise and Holiday Haunt, because I am more confident that I will like Haunted High Rise, like, based on the topic, the themes, and stuff like that. But I'm more confident that I'm gonna like Holiday Haunt based on what I've heard from people that have worked on it and stuff like that. So it's a tricky one for me. I think maybe ask me next month, ask me last month, I'd probably say Haunted High Rise, but I'm in such a vibe with the tinsel, the Christmas trees. I just want to grab a hot chocolate, snuggle in a blanket, and watch Holiday Haunt. Like, I just that to me would be a perfect Scooby vibe. Get one of my Scooby plushies and just, what I mean, like a little kid again. So I'm gonna say Holiday Haunt, but maybe that answer will change next month. Who knows? Who knows? Only time will tell.
Next month, you'll be like, oh, it's Haunted High Rise now. Christmas season's over.
Oh, okay. The next one, I think you might like this one. It is Scrappy Doo or Scooby Doo.
Oh,
I'm gonna say
Scooby Dum.
Scooby Doo.
Scooby Dum.
Yes, and I don't dislike Scrappy. Like I know you kind of have a little iffy relationship, like where you don't really, but I like Scrappy, but I love Scooby Doo. I've got the Scooby Doo Funko Pop, the Scooby Doo soda. Like I'm pretty much, if there was more merch, this room would be filled with Scooby Doo stuff. Like, come on
Like,
now.
it's such an underrated character. It was only in about 2 episodes, I
Yeah.
believe,
Dum dum dum
and
dum.
they were just brilliant. Like they didn't overuse or oversell the character. They had him in when it mattered, and they didn't overuse them like they were just Scrappy. I feel like if they brought like Scooby Doo back now, I feel like it would still work because people would still be accepting of that character.
Yeah. And also, it's like a different variation. I mean, I dare say they would have been wise to keep it around because I'm not gonna say where, but
But will they keep the
working.
name Scooby Dum? Because you know this world's
Wow,
like now they'll be like, oh, you can't call him dumb.
I think we would have been all right with it. Like if we can still call Goofy Goofy, I think Scooby Doo's safe. But like working in a toy store at the moment, you tell that it isn't just the main characters that sell. Like something that I didn't know was that popular was Bluey. I've never seen it, never really heard of it, but that one, the blue one, the orange one, and there's another one, all sells like hotcakes. So if they kept up some of Scooby-Doo's counterparts a little bit more consistent, we could have seen some more marketable, plushies coming out of stuff like that. So I think different variations are always a good thing, and Scooby-Doo is distinct enough to be a standalone. So I love that. I love it. I love it. Okay.
They need to bring him back.
The next one, I'm not sure about. Live in Coolsville or Crystal Cove?
See, I thought they're the same place.
See, I'm sure they're not, but
Coolsville
at the same
in
time,
Crystal Cove.
have
I'm
we
pretty
seen?
yeah, because Mystery Incorporated, Welcome to Coolsville and Crystal Cove. It's like they're the same area.
I mean, I don't think we know too much about Coolsville, do we? Like, what is our closest look at
I'm going to search
Coolsville?
that up because I'm pretty sure it's
I
going to
mean,
be.
the live action Mystery Incorporated set themselves at Coolsville, but the place is pretty much what we know to be Crystal Cove, like it being, was it a harbour town? I think it was a harbour town, yeah. So, but I'm already gonna say
Okay, Coolsville was first mentioned in Pup Named Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, by Tom Ruger. I think Tom Ruger invented the name actually.
And then it was the gang's hometown, whereas in previous direct-to-video movies, their hometown was Crystal Cove, which was mentioned in Mystery Incorporated.
Oh, Trick or Treat Scooby Doo was in Coolsville, wasn't it? But again, we don't see much of it. It's just anonymous American place.
So they lived in Coolsville in Pup Named Scooby-Doo, and then they must have moved to Crystal Cove when they got older.
I'm gonna say Crystal Cove.
But the thing is, though, we don't actually see any of the surrounding areas from those towns, so we can't really pick our
No,
poison.
we only know really from Crystal Cove because we see a lot of that through Mystery Incorporated.
Yeah, so
Not just
that's the
you
only
get the
information we
people.
have. It's like
Mayor
Coolsville.
Nettles, Sheriff Bronson Stone.
I guess you could say we got Coolsville from Mystery, like Scooby Doo Mystery Incorporated. Scooby Doo 2.
Oh, Monsters
Yeah,
Unleashed.
Monsters
Yes.
Unleashed. Yeah,
Oh,
that's the
yes, the
only.
museum.
Yeah, that's the only bit of
Oh,
evidence we have from Coolsville, and so we got that, and then Mystery Incorporated to choose from. So
no,
it's
I
pick your
want.
poison. So it's not really a lot of information to choose from. But if I
So
had to
to
choose one or the
me,
other, I say Crystal Cove from Mystery Incorporated
it's
because we get to
Sheriff
explore
Bronson
the town.
Stone
Yeah,
or the museum.
it's
I'm
Sheriff
gonna
Bronson
say
Stone,
Crystal Cove. Yeah, I can't pass up on that. And hey, Angel Dynamite as well. Like, you
and
can't
we
go
have
wrong with
more
that.
information on Crystal Cove because we've seen all 2 seasons of Mystery
Yeah,
Incorporated, so we get to see the town and the people. Whereas Coolsville is just by name and only shown in one live action movie. Like other than that, you look through the show. I guess you could say Pup Named Scooby, but you rarely see the town folks.
and it's supposedly a good place now, Crystal Cove. Like safe to live in because like the evil is
Yeah,
defeated. So yeah, Crystal Cove, Crystal Cove. Okay. Oh, what the hell? Oh no. Okay. Another series of What's New or another series of Mystery Incorporated.
Mystery Incorporated.
It has to be, right? Because,
Because we got 3 seasons of what was Scooby Doo. We don't need a fourth one, but what we need
well,
is a
I would
third
like a
season.
fourth one. But
What
yeah,
we
you're right.
need
I
is a
think we
third
need.
season because that cliff at the end is like we need to see how their journey is going to progress from there. Because they're the only ones that remember anything. They have a whole different perspective of the world.
I still think making it like still set in the same place, be that university, bring back Sheriff Bronson Stone as campus security, like they could do something with that. Or even just make them stay at Crystal Cove for something. Like I don't know. Like I'm itching for another season of Mystery Incorporated, so I will definitely agree with that. What the heck is this? Okay. Only ever eat Scooby snacks or chocolate covered eggplant burgers with hot sauce. Ah, cha cha cha. Have you ever had an eggplant?
They're not nice. Is the eggplant cooked?
Yeah, they're like toasting it, aren't they, in the movie? Toasted, like talk about toasted.
It's the first time I like knew an eggplant was in Courage the Cowardly Dog, for weirdly
Oh, those
enough.
little
Yeah.
creatures. I love that. Oh, those little
Oh god.
creatures. Those were like the best.
But then if I had a chance to eat a Scooby snack, I would probably go for the Scooby snack. Because I'm very curious to know what a Scooby that tastes like.
Yeah, I tried to. Well, yeah. So I agree with the Scooby snack. I was gonna say something that I probably would have regret, but people can probably guess. I was very young at the time.
You ate dog trees, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I did. Just because I wanted to know. I wanted to know what it was like. And I don't know how old I was. I'm old enough to remember, so maybe that's not such a good thing. But yeah. Oh, that's crazy. Oh gosh. Oh. Okay, this is I'm interested to get your take on this. So, Frapney, as in Fred and Daphne, or Shapney, as in Shaggy and Daphne.
I'm getting flashbacks to Mission Incorporated when you saw Shaggy and Daphne making out. I'm gonna say Fred and Daphne make a better duo than like Shaggy and Daphne. It doesn't really go well. They're two different people, good as friends, but other than that,
I want to be a bit
I don't think they have the
contrary.
vibe. I don't think they can contribute.
I would be
You know,
interested to see it. I would be interested, more interested, just because I am invested in Frapney a lot more because that's been
because we've been
teased
waiting for
since,
this for
yeah, for
60 years,
years,
and
for
we know that they're
years.
together, and Stage Fright was pretty much just confirmation that they're together.
Yeah, they like
It's a bit like
it's
Kim
like a will they,
Possible.
won't they?
It's a bit
Oh,
like
and
Kim
like
Possible with
Ron.
Ron and Kim. Like we knew from those seasons that they're destined to be together, and then they finally got together in the fourth season. It was like
Mm.
yeah, we all knew it.
See, I think I'm gonna go with Frapney, but given the amount of times they've done the bait and switch, they've teased it, not gone anywhere with it, or abandoned storylines. I think at this stage, I'm more curious about Shapney, but yeah, I'm always gonna be more
Because every
invested in the one
every
we've been
given
with the
moment they
entire
try and make
time.
at least one of them feel jealous of the other person
Or
in
even
some
in like
way.
with Thorn, the Hex Girl, like
Yeah,
when Fred's like trying to vibe and Daphne's like, stop it.
nudging him. Yeah.
It's
So
awful. Okay. Only ever watch Mystery Map or Return to Zombie Island.
whoever writ that is an evil person. Because I don't like any of them.
Hmm.
I've got to.
I'm gonna say
I'm gonna
Mystery
say mystery
Map
maps.
because a worst case scenario, I can just sit back and enjoy the genuine art that is the set pieces, the puppetry, like all of
Yeah.
that. Like I can enjoy it visually versus
Whereas you can't enjoy
yeah,
anything
like what am
visually
I
with
enjoying
Return to
with
Zombie
Return to
Island.
Zombie Island? Like
It's
it's
disappointing. Zombie Island, I watched that so many times that I don't need to watch it anymore because I know the film at the back of my hand. Return to Zombie Island, I'm still having nightmares from watching it the first time. It's like just throwing up constantly. It's like the gag reflex. Like it is the worst film they could have done as a sequel. And whoever directed it, who feels proud that they done that, is a moron.
oh, I actually don't know who
It's the
directed it. We should
worst.
find out and interview. You can.
See this video and be like, ah, it was that bad. Yes, no one loved it.
Who directed it?
They had potential to make 19 years to make a good sequel, and they failed. No, I think it was over 20 years. Came out in 98, so it's like,
Yeah, the 25th was this year.
yeah, so it was like over 20 years of working on
Wait,
a sequel.
that can't be right. Cecilia Aranovich, it says, who was also the director of Crypto 2. That isn't. No, I would have recognized her
Yeah, but
name
Crypto
from
2's
before
good. So how
that.
did they make that possible?
Ethan Spalding, who again was directing a lot of
Because Crypto
superhero
2's
stuff.
watchable, whereas Return of the Island is not.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know about that. Huh, that's odd. Odd.
The
What an
thing, they
odd
went through
one.
screening and someone goes, "This is a brilliant sequel. I love it."
I would have just gone, congratulations, everyone. You've wrecked it.
What they should do is get us doing the screenings of the movies, and we'd tell them, "No, it's terrible.
That's
Take
what
it
we
back."
need. We need a whole council of Scooby-Doo fans, even the ones that don't get along. Like we just need like a council, a round table of somewhat, and I'm not saying like this to be like big D energy, but somewhat notable, or maybe if notable is the wrong word, just active people within the community to just bounce stuff off of. Because I feel like that would probably make things a lot better. Or even, this is actually a good idea I want to do, just a round table of Scooby-Doo people. Like I would like to assemble like Mitch Watson, John Colton Barry, like all the heads of like say Guess Who, Be Cool, Mystery Incorporated to do like a round table thing. I think that would be really cool. But I certainly digress. So yeah, mystery map. So here's like I think this is an easy one. I'm sure it is. So see series two of Velma or series one of Mystery Pups. I think Mystery
Mystery
Pups. It has to
Pups.
be Mystery Pups.
Why would you want a season 2 of Velma? I know it's happening, but we
Although
don't want it.
controversially, if Velma season two was cancelled and a Fred spin-off based on that Fred, that would be my most guilty pleasure watch ever because I actually did. It definitely wasn't the Fred we know and love, but I
No,
low
but he
key
still had
liked
his
that Fred.
moments. It still
Like,
had his moments.
yeah, that would be my low key guilty pleasure
They should just
watch.
scrap season 2 of Velma and make a Sheriff Bronston Stone movie
Agreed.
and treasure it.
I would treasure it. I'd get it on DVD,
I'll be like, this man is a national
Blu-ray.
treasure. It's just like anything is better than Velma. I don't understand. I still do that. I don't understand how it got a season 2. It got terrible ratings. Everyone hated it. It was the worst series they could have made. And yet they're thinking, yeah, it deserves a season 2. How?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's
I
crazy.
don't understand how that works. If something's shit, it gets a sequel. But if something's great, let's move on to something else.
Yeah, like even something like I think they recently got rid of Spectacular Spider-Man from Disney Plus now. Like all the
Yeah,
good
because
stuff just seems to go.
that's the feel
Crazy.
I'm going to hate is knowing that even next year is going to be another year of Velma ruining our like Scooby Doo moments.
Although my worst part about Velma season two is
And you
just
know the
that
sad
these
thing is, it's
talentless
gonna come out on Blu-ray,
hacks,
and I'm gonna buy both
the
seasons, and I'm gonna
anti-woke
hate it.
YouTubers, that's going to be paying their rent for the entirety of the month it comes out. Just annoying. But we've got, because this is something we will like, because, we're both here in the UK, jolly old England. This is a UK themed question. Sword on the Scoob or Loch Ness Monster?
Sword in the Scoob.
No, it's Loch Ness. I think this is
The
Loch
Sword
Ness
in the
Monster.
Scoob.
This is
It's Sword in the
definitely Loch
Scoob.
Ness
No, it's
Monster.
Sword in the
No,
Scoob.
hands
It's
down,
Sword
Loch
in
Ness
the Scoob.
Monster. Like clearly
Technically,
Loch Ness
Loch Ness
Monster. Like
Monster is in Scotland. It's not
it's
even.
still in the UK.
No,
It's
no, no,
it's,
no.
it's UK.
Technically, they
You
like
can
to be
drive
independent
there. You
from
can
England,
drive
so
there.
they're on their
You know what
own.
I mean? Like
So we
you
have to
can
choose
get
Sword in the
your
Scoob.
keys in the car, push the gas button, and you know what I
And
mean. You
at
can
least Sword in
drive
the Scuba has
down
somewhat meaning to history. No
Glasgow.
one's seen the Loch Ness Monster.
I've seen the Loch Ness Monster. It's my mum. No, 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 no.
At least somewhere in some sort of cathedral church, there is a sword of Excalibur.
Wait, is there actually?
I think there's an actual sword, yeah, Excalibur sword.
I need to go. Can you have a go at it?
I don't know if you can, but there is the actual sword.
You know what? Then I might switch
Well,
sides. But
whether the legend and story and myth is true or not, um, I can't really tell you that much because no one really knows the truth. But there is a sword.
is it not history?
It
Am
is
I being an
history.
idiot? Like, is it real?
Yeah,
I thought
yeah.
King of well,
King
not
Arthur,
well.
it
What's up with
is real.
Merlin?
The story in that, but like no one can actually prove if the legend
Oh
is
yeah,
true.
Excalibur.
There's a sword, but it's like it's like when they know you pull the sword out the stone, you become king. Like no one knows that for sure. Because what? Do you put the sword in an elevator or something? Does that become the king?
I like that, like Thor's hammer or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna say Loch Ness Monster movie. Um, because I love the Loch Ness Monster movie. And every time you talk badly about, I think you just do it because you know what it means to me.
I
That's my
don't like
theory.
Loch Ness Monsters. It's the
That's my
one thing I
theory.
get on my top 10 worst Scooby-Doo movies. Everyone always hates. They're like, I can understand these ones, but I don't know why you chose Loch Ness Monsters. Like, it is bad.
Even the chase song alone, I think, is enough to make it one of the best. That first chase song,
How many times have the Loch Ness Monster scene in episodes? About 3 or 4 times. It's oversold.
I don't know. I don't know. I think it's good.
It's
I
like I
think
don't need to
it's
go. I
good.
don't need to go to Scotland to do like look for it no more because I've seen the Scooby-Doo ones. I'm like, all right, that's enough realism for me to know that I don't need to go to Scotland now.
We should do that though for a video one day, just for some vindication. We should go on
Go
a
all the way up to
boat
Scotland.
to the Loch Ness, and we should look for the thing.
If there's no monster there, you have to say that movie is terrible.
Okay,
If you find
if we don't find a
if you
monster,
find a monster there, I heartily will build a shrine for Loch Ness Monster
yeah,
and
yeah,
pray to it every single
we
day.
will do it. We will do it. We'll find the monster. We will do it. We'll set that 2024 JayBee Mark Marsh
Monster
Scotland.
hunting in Scotland.
We'll do it. We'll do it. Oh, what the heck? Okay, so see the Hex Girls return again, or see Coco Diablo return again.
Hex Girls.
Yeah, it has to be the Hex Girls. It has to be the Hex
An easiest
Girls.
choice.
Like, I'm intrigued to see Coco again, but the Hex Girls are too iconic to pass, like, the chance to see them again, especially if it's Haunted High Rise.
Yeah.
It has to be the Hex Girls. Oh, I
I
love
think
the
they were
Hex
brought
Girls.
into Witch's Ghost as just the normal background characters to the point where now they're like
Like,
most loved in the Scooby community.
like, I think there's even people that
Up
are
there
Hex
with
Girls
Sheriff Bronson.
fans that aren't necessarily Scooby fans. They just have a lot of nostalgia and love for the Hex Girls, so I'd say so. Okay. Meet Linda Cardellini at a Comic Con or meet Frank Welker.
Frank. He's two voice actors, and there's a lot more DVDs for him to sign.
See, I want to say, see, for me, and there's reasons, it absolutely has to be Linda Cardellini
But
because
Frank's really old now, so you don't know how many years he's got left.
you know what? See, it's
We have
hard
to
to
see him
say.
first.
That's kind of a
Linda's still got
banging
many years
point.
ahead of her, so
That's a banging
she can
point.
wait.
The issue is it's the only live action like from the 2002 movie Funko Pop that I don't have signed. Like I've got Matthew Lillard, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Freddie Prinze Jr., Neil Fanning. There's just one naked Velma Funko Pop there that doesn't have any ink on it, and I need to get it inked up. I need to get that baby inked up to complete my Infinity Gauntlet. Oh, so oh, you're right though. But I've already got so much Frank Welker stuff signed in from like send-in services and stuff that I'm like, I know meeting him and not getting anything signed is like an honor in and of itself, but I think I'm more of a collector at heart than a sentimentalist. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go with Cardellini on this one, but my heart is aching. I want everyone to know.
Get Frank to sign everything while he's still here.
Scooby-Doo 2002 or Monsters Unleashed? I'm gonna say 2002.
I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say Monsters Unleashed.
Monsters Unleashed.
Yeah,
Oh, see, that's surprising because we both put it lower on the tier list that we did. But I mean, there's reasons for
there's some good
both.
stuff that happens in that film, and I really love the glow up between Shaggy and Scooby, where they both try to become competent rather than incompetent. They try to have like their moment.
Yeah, they
Or
do.
when they're going, the bad guys hang out and they try and act tough.
Oh, that's one of the best. Even the
Yeah.
dance they do, like "Thank you for letting me
And when he loses his wig in
listen."
there, goes, "Oh, that's Scooby-Doo," and his friend Shaggy Rogers, where?
The it is like they're both iconic. I think we're lucky to have them both. Okay.
I want to say like Monsters Unleashed definitely captured something
Hmm.
in terms of story wise, could have been a bit more better, but it definitely had something there. I think it had too many weird villains going on. You had a retired villains, all the other villains. As like they really had too much on screen for us audiences to keep track of,
Yeah, I
especially
just
with
wish we saw
the
that
main
chicken
culprit.
style.
Yeah. So I'm just like, I like it, but story could have been better, but it's still good to watch.
What about Ghost Clown or Captain Cutler?
Um, yeah, Captain Cutler.
Captain Cutler. I think the episode's a lot better than the Ghost Clown episode.
Ghost Clown had its like moments when he hypnotized the gang, but other than that, it's just really cliche on a clown. It's like that's all. It's like a downgraded version of Pennywise. So I'm gonna just say Captain Cutler. At least I don't know, underwater bit, nice, glowing suit.
Yeah, and I love the production design behind how they managed to get that effect, and they're like the
Yeah,
like that effect used to scare me as a child so much. I'm sure it was the Captain Cutler episode why I couldn't watch Where Are You for the longest time.
Space Kook was a really good one.
I think I'm gonna say Captain Cutler as well. Okay, so the next Scooby-Doo series, live action or animated? And I'm gonna say animated just because I truly believe that there's still a good bit of animation to be had, especially as somewhat like a get back for all the animated projects that were cancelled. There's a lot of talent now in the void that could work on something great. But at the same time, there is a need for a live action Scooby-Doo project, I feel. It's just, I think I would rather see them invest more in the YouTube series if they're not going to do their own project themselves. So
Yeah.
that'll be my answer to that.
See, I would love a live action series, but I always know that they will screw it up. But however, if they hired people that are already doing a live action series, like the Mystery Incorporated one on YouTube, then I could probably see it happening. Because at least that looks really good for live action. And I would support that than anything Warner Bros. Would do. I feel like the fan service is more better than the actual company, like standard. So for like if they hired them to do it, I would go with live action. But since that would never happen, my dream of having a perfect utopia of a live action is pretty much like me trying to win the lottery. Never going to happen. So I'm going to go with animation, even though I would love a live action. But animation is the only salvation they have at Warner Bros.
Hmm. I mean, it is a tricky one because where is the metric? Like, they're more likely to mess up a live action, but at the same time, I feel like a live action is inherently easier to mess up, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Whereas with animation, you're storyboarding, you're writing, you're rewriting, and I think there's more of a scope to change what you've got, but it is interesting. It is interesting. Okay, so a Scooby-Doo DTV per year and a series every other year, or see the original cut of Scooby-Doo 2002 as the last ever released Scooby project. I don't know what that means.
are you talking about like the last ever finale of like Scooby Doo before they cut ties with it? So he's trying to go with.
I don't know. Let's just say, would you rather for next year of Scooby-Doo have no, would you rather a Scooby-Doo series every other year and a Scooby-Doo DTV every year? Or would you rather see the live action, like the original cut of live action movies?
I rather the first option
Hmm.
because I'd rather have at least something each year
Yeah.
to look forward to. whereas a series or direct to TV. Whereas the 2002 uncut version is like great. Theatre scenes all on YouTube. Don't really need to see it. And
Well,
I've already got like Blu-ray and that, so it's like it's unwarranted. It's not really drawing me in.
I do want to see that kiss between Daphne and Velma, though. I'm intrigued to see that. I'm intrigued to see like the scenes where like the demons were gonna get like a further influence in the world. But yeah, apart from that, I'm glad with the version we got. So yeah, yeah. So that is the last of the this or that questions that we had. I think this was quite a good video. Now, if you do have ones that you want to see us answered in a future part, feel free to comment them down below because, these are interesting. So we'd be maybe even open to do a part two of this. So comment down below if you want to ask us any of those types of questions. But yeah, I think that wraps us up for this episode. So, Mark, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me on my YouTube channel or head over to my social media at Twitter or Instagram at Mark Marsh 94 Igos Luigi. And I also stream now on twitch.tv
Hey,
with Igos Luigi as my handle.
that is incredible. I'll leave that linked in the description down below. Thank you so much to everyone for watching. If you do want to see more, then please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.